Zohran Mamdani just met in the Oval Office. This is the first time they've ever met. Of course, they've both spoken about each other publicly, criticized each other and whatnot. But Donald Trump just slobbered all over Mamdani, completely folding and complimenting him, saying that he ran a great race, that they actually agree on a lot, that he thinks he's going to do a great job as mayor. Donald Trump just completely folded. It goes to show you that Trump talks a big talk on social media, but when it comes to an in-person meeting, he folds almost every single time. We've seen this time and time again. Even when he met with Joe Biden following the election in the Oval Office, he was so complimentary of Joe Biden when, of course, Biden was leaving the presidency. And before we get into any of this and we look at some of these videos, I just want to point out that just the other day, announcing their meeting, Donald Trump said that Zohran Mamdani was a communist. He's asked for a meeting. We've agreed that this will take place in the Oval Office today. Further details to follow, but he's called him awful things on social media, said he's a communist, said that New York is going to go to hell, and now he's slobbering all over Mamdani. So look, we're going to get into all of this and more. Make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. Let me know if you're as surprised as I am. And let's just start with this first clip, which occurred immediately after their meeting. And this was Donald Trump's kind of readout of the meeting, what he thought about it, how he thought it went. And again, I'm just so surprised at what we're hearing. Take a look.
Very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I mean, I mean, this guy is such a fold chair. He's a fold chair. He's such a folder. He's a lawn chair. Whenever he has to back up his big talk in person, it always goes badly. He always folds, and he's folding right there. He just said that Mamdani is going to be a great mayor. I think you're going to hopefully have a really, really great mayor, Donald Trump says. The better he does, the happier I am. And he's talking about how he won the race overwhelmingly, which he did. He won the primary, won the general election. It wasn't close. But this is Donald Trump talking about the guy who Republicans have been trying to make the boogeyman. He's a communist, he's this, he's that, whatever. All the Republicans on social media, they go on Fox News, they say the worst things about Zohran Mamdani. They make racist comments about Zohran Mamdani. And now Donald Trump is saying, well, I actually think he's going to be pretty great. And Mr. Mamdani, Mayor-elect Mamdani, also spoke about their meeting. And you should hear what he said as well, because it was kind of similar, saying there are things we agreed on and the meeting was good overall. Take a look.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
And then they got into some questions, which we're going to look at in just a moment right here. But I'm just baffled. Honestly, I know that Zohran Mamdani was always going to be professional in the meeting. He wasn't going to run in there and insult Donald Trump. I mean, he can't, right? He has to play the political game, which is, in order to get help from Trump and make New York City an affordable city, as is Mamdani's goal, you can't just insult him because, his ego is so fragile that any insult to him means New York City and the 8 million people that live there will not get any support whatsoever. So I know that Mamdani had to play the game, but Donald Trump certainly didn't have to praise him as much as he is, and he is. I mean, he's sitting there saying he's going to be a great mayor. They're shaking hands. There were times where Donald Trump was patting Mamdani on the back. And this is after they all said that, New York City's going to come crumbling down. I'm just, it's what we've been saying about Donald Trump this entire time, that he talks a big talk. He says, I'm going to do this. He says, this person is dangerous. And then when he's confronted to his face, he folds every single time, right? This is just Donald Trump. Sorry, 101. But anyway, I want to move on to the question and answer session briefly, where in this answer, Donald Trump said, I feel very confident he's going to do a good job. I think he's going to surprise conservative people. This is Trump talking about Mamdani. This is crazy.
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for Mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question, and on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him.
I mean, I can't be the only one that's baffled here, right? I mean, I guess maybe baffled's not the right word. I shouldn't be surprised because, as I said, we know that Donald Trump folds like a lawn chair every single time. But it's just so crazy to watch the fold in real time. Going from saying that Mamdani is a communist, he's going to destroy New York, yada, all this crap, right? To now being his biggest fan in the Republican Party. I mean, it's so wild to watch, And here's another one where Donald Trump was asked, would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration? And he's like, yeah, I would. I'd be great. Take a look.
Yeah, okay, how about you? Go ahead, please.
You're a billionaire. You have a different address nowadays than you used to. You used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would, especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. He may have different views, but in many ways, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on, tariffs, a lot of things. Bernie Sanders and I agreed on much more than people thought, and when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, it just turned out to be a statistical truth.
And then he just keeps rambling. I just got to say, I respect Mamdani so much for being in this meeting and not making any faces. Like, I could not control myself if I were standing next to Donald Trump and he was ranting this way. I would just be rolling my eyes. I'd be like, oh my God, I'd fact check him. I mean, so I respect Mamdani, and I know Mamdani can't do that because, again, as we spoke about, he needs to play into Donald Trump's ego in order to get the help that New York City needs from the federal government. And the fact that he has to do that is disgusting in the first place. But I understand what Mamdani's doing here. But respect to him for staying like straight face through all of Donald Trump's ramblings. And then there's two final things I want to show you. We won't look at the clips because the quotes tell you the whole story. But a reporter asked him about Elise Stefanik, who's running for governor of New York as a Republican. And the reporter said, Stefanik has campaigned on calling Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist? He said, no, but she's out there campaigning. You say things in a campaign. You'd have to ask her about that. I met with a man who's a rational person. He just destroyed Elise Stefanik's entire campaign. I mean, that's been her entire thing. And now Trump they have him on record saying, no, I don't think so. And then Brian Kilmeade, Fox News host, after the meeting ended, concluded by saying, that's what we just watched. I think JD Vance is jealous. I think the president wants to use him as a running mate, as in Mamdani. They got along fantastic. Even Fox News is saying that Donald Trump was folding like a long chair. So look, I just was so baffled by what we watched. And as I said earlier, maybe I shouldn't be, because we know that Trump bends the knee when he's confronted in person. But wow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm excited to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe down below. Drop a like on the video. Comment, as I mentioned. Let me know what you think. But a crazy day. A crazy day. Have an amazing rest of your day. And we will talk soon.